All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. We said it all off season. We warned the NBA during preseason, and I know it's the Portland Trailblazers, and they're not projected to be one of the better teams in the NBA. But the biggest thing is, everybody was right. All of us Warriors fans, we were right about Buddy Hield. We were right about Kyle Anderson, DeAnthony Melton, and Buddy Hield being implemented into this roster. Still got TJD. I still got Jonathan Kuminga. I still got Moses Moody. I still got B-Pot. Oh, and wait, hold on. I still have Steph Bleeping Curry and Draymond Green. So it's like this Warriors team, the combination of Buddy Hield, we saw it immediately last night. And I hate to rag on Clay because I love Clay. We all love Clay. But the addition simply of Buddy Hield, Kyle Anderson, and DeAnthony Melton compared to the one player, Klay Thompson, especially considering what he did for him last year, they're a monumentally better team. Monumentally. And we saw it after the first quarter. Actually, we saw it towards the end of the first quarter when Buddy Hield finally gets subbed in and starts dropping his threes. I saw a really funny quote. I think it was on Twitter or YouTube or something like that. Steph lost a splash brother in Clay, but he gained a splash buddy in Hield. So that was the case last night. We're going to talk about it, but before we do, if you guys enjoy, hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily Dubs content. Try and get this video to 139 likes, folks. That would mean the absolute world to me. So Golden State, sorry to hiccup, really bad first quarter. And if you've watched the NBA, especially this season, whether it was Wednesday or Tuesday night or Wednesday night, probably tonight for a couple of teams, every year the first quarter in an NBA season is so similar to football. It's just bad. It's sloppy. It's bad. Players aren't hitting shots. There's a lot of turnovers. Nobody really looks like they're trying to think of a word. Nobody's really like playing as a team. The first quarter, that's how it always goes. So Golden State only scored 21 points in the first quarter. And it was weird because it was a blowout. They won 139 to 104. It was better than any win they had last season statistically. But it was really interesting after the first, or even at the end of the first, where Golden State scored 41 in the second. They scored 37 in the third. And obviously, no starters played in that fourth quarter. They put up 40 again in the fourth quarter. So we're seeing how deep, or seeing how talented this team truly is, just like we thought, just like we saw in the preseason. 51.6% from the field. They took 48 threes. They made 20 of them for a 42% split. They out-rebound Portland 65 to 49. They had 38 assists compared to 21 with Portland. They did have 17 turnovers. We go back to his sloppy basketball. The first game, the first week, the first couple of weeks is sloppy basketball. It's not really consistent. So Draymond Green, stupid T. That's the only thing I'm concerned about is Draymond Green just holding himself in check. But Jonathan Kuminga, really bad game. 10 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, a couple of turnovers, 4 turnovers to be exact. But once again, Kuminga started really bad. I mean, he started really bad. It looked like he's never stepped out onto an NBA court in that first quarter, but give us some time. He'll be just fine. Andrew Wiggins is back. We saw it at stretches last season towards the end. We saw it towards the end of the season. Andrew Wiggins is back. He's focused. He's ready to go. 20 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 8 of 15 from the field, 4 of 7 from downtown in only 23 minutes. Once again, it was a blowout, so it's kind of hard to evaluate the starting rotation because that first quarter was poor. TJD, welcome. Sophomore campaign breakout candidate, 14 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 5 of 5 from the field. He also included 1 steal in only 24 minutes. And Mr. Steph Curry, a rebound away from a triple-double. He also had 17 points, 10 assists, 4 of 10 from the field, 3 of 7 from downtown, 2 steals, but he only played 25 minutes. Where things get really interesting is the bench, man. It gets really interesting in the bench. This is one of the deepest Warriors teams I have seen in a very long time. Buddy Hield leading the way. In only 14 minutes, Buddy Hield had 22 points, 8 of 12 from the field, 5 of 7 from downtown. He's the real deal. He is 100% the real deal. Next up, we got Moses Moody, fresh off a contract extension that we talked about a couple of days ago. 15 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 5 of 11 from the field, 3 of 8 from downtown in only 14 minutes. So we saw it. He had a phenomenal preseason. He was putting up like 16, a little over 16 points per game in about 20 minutes a night in preseason. We heard Steve Kerr. We knew he was going to have a role this season. Finally, thankfully, 15 points in 14 minutes. My favorite thing that I saw from Moses Moody in the preseason was that he was taking 3-point shots. He was taking a lot of shots, and that's what we saw last night. Moses took 11 total attempts in only 14 minutes. Feeling great about him. Anthony Melton, another new addition for this Golden State Warriors team. It's hard to really evaluate him based on statistics. It always has been. He's a phenomenal defensive guard. He's a really high IQ player. The only thing holding Anthony Melton back is his back. It's his injuries, right? So 10 points, 2 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 of 11 from the field, 2 of 8 from downtown, but he also had 3 total steals in only 19 minutes. It's hard. I'm telling you, the impact he had in last night's game, it's huge. And the impact he will have this entire season is also huge. Important to note, last night's starting lineup was kind of what we talked about in the preseason, Steph Curry, Andrew Wiggins, Jonathan Kuminga, Draymond Green, and TJD. But once again, just to reinforce this point, it was a blowout, so it's hard to evaluate minutes. It's hard to evaluate rotations. But moving down the line, B-Pod is really interesting to me. I've always kind of viewed B-Pod as the guy I would rather trade as opposed to TJD, Moses Moody, or Jonathan Kuminga. B-Pod just has issues creating for himself. But last night, like a lot of teams in the NBA, and just like the Golden State Warriors with 17 total turnovers, he was sloppy. B-Pod was a plus 34, however. You heard that correctly. B-Pod was a plus 34. But he had 0 points. He did have 3 turnovers, but he also had 4 from downtown. It wasn't a good shooting night for him. 7 rebounds, 4 total assists, and a steal in only 24 minutes for B-Pod. It's a big year for him, and I'm not saying the Warriors should trade him by any means. I'm just saying, if there's a guy that becomes available towards the deadline and Golden State is this championship caliber team like we believe, I feel like B-Pod would be the odd man out in that rotation. Gary Payton, another hard player to evaluate unless you're watching these basketball games. In only 14 minutes, he had 2 total steals. He had 8 points, a rebound, 3 assists. He shot 3 of 4 from the field, missed his one and only downtown attempt. Kyle Anderson also looked good. He had looked great, actually. 2 steals, 1 block, 5 rebounds, 2 points, 3 assists in only 14 minutes. We were right, it looks like. And I know it's just Portland, so we want to see a longer sample or a better sample size here. You got Utah this upcoming Friday night, and then finish off the week with the Los Angeles Clippers at home without Kawhi. So I think personally Golden State's going to get off to a 3-0 start, and then finally at the start of next week on Monday, you'll see everybody in national basketball media saying, hold on, maybe Golden State was right. That's it for today. Hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily Dubs content. And folks, give me your player of the game last night and any thoughts and opinions you have. Peace.